So could you tell me a little bit on who you are, what you do, and where your business is located?
Yes, my name is Emma. I am an owner of a salon or a clinic, call it what you will, who is specialized, or at least we have a niche in pelvic floor rehabilitation, incontinence treatments, and it's located in Gävle in Sweden.
Nice. And before we started working together, what was the reality of the business from like a day-to-day basis?
Well, we were working with a couple of other agencies, and it felt like in the beginning, it felt good. It went well. The leads came in, but it was short term, always short term. So the weeks, I can't say the days because I think of weeks. So the weeks looked very much not the same. We could have a lot to do 1 week, and then 3 weeks with sporadic bookings. And that didn't work for me because I always had to go into the clinic, right? Because even if I only had like 2 or 3 clients, I always had to go in. So I wasn't free. I didn't have a free time, but I had a lot of free time, but I had to spend it in the clinic because the bookings was so sporadic.
Yeah. Do you remember like how many clients you were getting per month back then?
Per month, it's hard to say. Perhaps if I had like days where I had 2 or 3 or 4, maximum 5 each day. So like maximum, I don't know, 30 bookings some months, and that's too little. That's no good at all.
No. And how did that situation actually like affect you personally, being in that situation?
Well, it's the financial part, of course, and like I said, it's that stress of knowing that you have to go to work even though you only have like 2 or 3 clients, and that stress eats at you because you're never free. So instead of just having, okay, so I can accept that I have 2 days free that week because the bookings just didn't show up, but I had bookings every day, it just wasn't full. So I had that stress of never being able to just be home because the bookings just wasn't there. I had to always show up at work, and the stress of, the financial part and not being able to just take a day off and be home, even though I could have, because the bookings just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But and the stress, the financial stress of, always feeling like you didn't have enough.
Yeah.
Not knowing what to do about it.
Yeah. Was there ever a moment where you thought about like giving up or just stopping with the clinic?
No.
No.
No, that's not in my vocabulary.
Yeah. I almost already knew the answer to that question.
So I think of it like, okay, so not this way, let's go this way, or let's check out that way, or is it something in my, in my portfolio? Am I offering the right things? Could I add? Should I, take away? What can I do?
Yeah.
So no, this is it. It's just needed to be, better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you first hear about us at Glow Marketing? And what was your like honest reaction when you first saw us?
So I think I said this to you at some point, but I had you in, the back of my head because of your name, Glow Marketing. Yeah. So you popped up a few times on, I think, Instagram. And at that point, I was already collaborating with another bureau, and had signed some, I don't know, 6 months or something. I don't know. But I felt in my bones that this wasn't it. I needed to find something better. And you kept popping up. And because of the name, I felt drawn to you. Because that's who I am. I felt like this is Bishart. This is meant to be. I need to have a conversation. So I always knew there would come a time when I felt ready to leave the others behind. And in May of 2025,
2025, yeah.
That time had come. So I reached out to you, and I don't know who, but someone said that they had been seeing me as well, and wanting to get a meeting on.
Yeah.
So after that, it went really fast.
Yeah. We'll get into that as well. But how do you think, like in terms of like the process from your first meeting to us actually starting to deliver results and everything? How do you feel like that process went?
I felt like it was more realistic than what was promised from the other companies that I worked with. I'm only human as well. So every time someone dingles, we will get you more leads and you will be fully booked and this will happen in the first week. Of course, I felt for that as well.
Yeah.
But that's not, as I do this, and I done this for a while now, I know that isn't the best approach forward. That isn't organic growing. I want to scale my company, but I want to grow with it. So these, hot flashes that comes in the beginning, those aren't sustainable.
No.
I learned that the hard way. So I just felt a genuine, plan of growth.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So and of course, as soon as I signed with you, I had to go to Cyprus for 2 weeks. So I wasn't able to work. So we had that.
That's right.
Yes.
Some calmness before the storm.
Exactly. And then in August, oh my God, that's when the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was there ever a moment where you almost said no on the meeting, or was it just like, let's do this?
No. Yeah, of course. I mean, you are the more expensive one in comparison to the others. But as I said, I'm older, I'm wiser. I've done this for a while now, so I know that you get what you pay for, and I haven't regretted it one single time, not one time.
Amazing.
In this year now, soon.
Amazing. Yeah, there's almost a year now, actually.
Yeah.
Crazy.
1 year anniversary, Nico.
Exactly. And for the finale,
Yes.
tell me where you are today, like specifically, like revenue, clients, bookings, whatever you feel like you can share.
Yeah. So when we really got this, this show on the road, I was working a lot, and I thought that was what I wanted. Come to figure out, it wasn't what I wanted. Was too much. So for those who want that, it's definitely possible, but I didn't want that. So I had to level it out a bit. So I feel like I've come to a point where this is where I want to be. This is sustainable, and I can grow with it. So at this point, I went from like 50K months to 300K months in Swedish, of course, Swedish kronors. And that was too much.
Yeah.
Not in revenue, but the workload.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm down to, and even taking days off because I can, and it feels so good. So
Amazing.
afternoons off, some days off. So my revenue is maybe between 100, 150K, and
Amazing.
I am not fully booked
Amazing.
because of
So
choice.
so you basically did that choice by yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Once you hit the 30,000 euro a month mark, and then downscaling from there because of your own choices.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what can you do today that you couldn't do a year ago?
Take days off.
That's yeah. That is the
That's my goal. Figure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love it. I love it. So I think that some people can relate to this. Whenever you start a business, it's always, I think, one common thing. You want freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want freedom. And freedom needs money. If you don't want to, sell everything you own, buy a bus and, go live a vagabond life. But that's not. So whenever we start something, it's because we have this drive, and ultimately what we want is freedom to choose that I want to work. I want to work now, and I want to work this week, and I want to work these hours. But then when I don't want to work, I have that choice. So that's ultimately what I wanted, not to have this amount of money on the bank, but I wanted to have money on the bank to get to the freedom level that I have now, not to work and then get the money, because that wasn't, I got that. So I worked my ass off and I got the money, but that didn't make me happier.
Yeah.
No, the freedom does. And that's what I got.
Yeah, those are wise words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. And I think also one thing to mention is that, your sales skills went up pretty crazy, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of like treatment packages and stuff like that. Could you maybe
had to.
Yeah, could you maybe like elaborate more on, the things you did to like increase the sales treatment packages and how you did it?
Yes. So before working with you, as I said, I got my leads, I got my bookings, and let's say, to make it easy, I got for every 10 let's say consultation bookings, perhaps I sold like 2 or 3 packages to them. So there wasn't much revenue going in, but a lot of time was invested. And then in August, when, shit hit the fan and I got flooded with new leads and bookings, I had that period, like I said, I signed with you, and then in like June, beginning of June, and then in June and July, I had a moment to think, what was it that I was doing wrong? Why wasn't I selling these packages? I mean, people are coming to me with a problem. Why can't I get them to invest in this treatment package? They need it, obviously. So I had to scan my whole process. So from ads, like, what are my ads looking? How are they looking? What are my clients seeing? What are they interpreting me? I mean, I had to scan everything. I had to really analyze everything. So I went through my ads. I went through my marketing. I went through my offers. And then I went through my consultation talks, sales pitch, basically. So I call this the clinic analyze session, or clinic analyzing, sort of. Yeah. So I completely switched my ads from these generic, what's Manus?
Scripted.
Yeah, these scripted ads that sounded not personal, generic, and like everybody else. Yeah. So I reinvented myself in that area, and then I switched over to you guys. So I had a better team working on the ads as well. And then the clients started coming. Oh, also the offer.
Yeah.
Before I had one offer. Now I have two, perhaps three, but basically two.
Yeah.
So this is also a kind of psychology where if you leave it up to the client between choosing from, should I go with this or no, should I choose or should I not choose? Should I go or should I not go? Should I invest or not invest? Because of, anatomy, people always or often choose not to do something.
Yeah.
The word no is more comfortable than yes. But if I offer them this or that, the choice often or more often lands on this or that.
Yeah.
So that I had to fix as well. And then the sales pitch. I really, really, really went through the whole process from meeting them at the door to signing them into a treatment package. And I came up with a flow that works like magic.
Amazing.
Yes.
And you said 3 out of 10 times before. What is it now?
Between 7 and 9.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
so I
really
have
good.
months where it's like I can't even miss.
Yeah.
And then I have months where, and I really, really think that this has to do with energy. When my energy is low, I can see the dip. But I accept it because it is what it is. And I'm a woman. I have phases and cycles and,
Yeah.
So definitely the energy.
That's amazing. Amazing. Going from 3 to 10 to 7 to 9 out of 10. Yeah. That's crazy. And how does all of this actually feel? Like your life now versus a year ago?
Freer and exciting. Like I said to you so many times, I don't feel like you are a marketing bureau that I hired. I genuinely feel like I have a company where we are all a team. Yeah, I can call on you whenever I have a question or I just want to have a sounding board or I feel so good taken care of.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how do you feel like in terms of that, like communication? Because sometimes I know some people in our team could answer at like 12 p.m., 1 a.m. in night. Yeah.
But I'm the same. So
yeah.
It's also comparing to the other companies that I work with. It's this was the thing that drove me away to look for something else, and that was that when I saw that my ads wasn't performing as well. This wasn't what I saw on Meta because I didn't have that view, but I saw it in terms of leads coming in. I had to chase down that company to ask what's going on. Should we do something else? Should we switch it up? Do you need something from me? And I felt like that was what I paid them to, chase me with. Like, Emma, we see that this ad perhaps has run its course. We need to switch it up. We need new material. Can you help us? And also give me pointers. But I felt like I had to chase them, and it could take weeks before I get a hold of them. And basically, they just said, yeah, we're going to switch it up. What that meant, I don't know, but I'm going to switch it up.
Yeah, hard for you to know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, switching it up.
Yes, switching it up. Awesome. So that problem isn't even in the conversation because that never happened.
Awesome. And if someone's watching this right now who were like in the same place you were in, 12 months ago, skeptical, tired, not sure what to do, what would you tell them?
I know that the objection always lands on, the price. But that's not really what they're objecting to. It's the sense of, can I trust this or not?
Yeah.
And for me, going into 1 year now, and I'm a small business in Gävle. Like I'm part of the smaller businesses, and I chose to invest and bet my money on this. And it's the best investment I've done, like for real, because this isn't just ads, it's you guys.
Yeah.
It's you guys. And you are so great, and you get more you get more than what you pay for. Let me tell you that. So this is not something you can add on the presentation, of course, but the extra stuff you get is support and kindness, and someone who keeps you grounded, and someone who can, just be a sounding board and give you feedback and constructive criticism and, whatever you want. That's what you get.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.